Hello, my name is Alex Campbell, and you're watching the 5th episode of Dissecting Who. On this episode, I'll be dissecting episode 8 of season 10 of New Who.
I woke up and the monks were here and they'd always been here.
The Lie of the Land. So in the last episode we left off that Bill had made an agreement with these monks, and now we enter into an Orwellian-esque world where the monks have been in control of everything since the beginning of time, from the inception of humanity until now. I say an Orwellian future, and man, the first 20 minutes of this feels like it's right out of 1984. I mean, I was watching it, I'm like, this whole episode just going to be a rip-off of 1984? But it gets out of it eventually, but like the dystopia that they describe is, it's more than a homage, maybe bordering on rip-off. Coincidentally, I have a copy of George Orwell's 1984 right here. Paid 50 cents for this at the Salvos. Bargain. So the monks have control over humanity through their psyche, and there's this really cool thing in this episode where they keep on really quickly flashing pictures of the monks to like show that the monks are trying to regain control of Bill, and it's a really cool idea and it really conveys the idea exceptionally well. So after establishing the world and showing Bill, Nardor just rocks up and he's like, yeah, I was taken ill for 6 weeks from that fucking life-destroying bacteria. And it's just like, oh, okay. Whatever, man. Bill and Nardor break into this warehouse where the doctor is, and in the last episode where I was talking about the new Capaldi episode, I had a problem with the pacing of the dialogue. Now we go into this scene which is basically just a dialogue between the Doctor and Bill, and it's really well shot and edited, and the pacing is amazing. And I just want to say that Pearl Mackie's acting in this scene is absolutely brilliant. There's points where she's almost breaking up to the point of tears, and her lips quivering, and her brow is furrowing, and it's just really great performance. Same with Capaldi, but we've seen that 1,000 times. We really haven't seen Pearl acting to this degree up until this point, and she really delivers the goods. I was impressed.
All that we believe now is a lie.
The guy who directed this episode, his name is Wayne Yip, and I couldn't even find a Wikipedia page on the guy, but there are a lot of shots that are framed really well, and the lighting is used exceptionally, and I just want to say, good job, Wayno. I don't know who you are, but good job, man. So the Doctor has been posing as like the face of the media for the generic monks, and basically he's been tricking them this whole time, and there's this whole confrontation between Bill and the Doctor where he really breaks her down, man, just to the point of like sobbing, and basically it ends in her pulling a gun and shooting him, and him doing a fake regeneration, and it all being a trick. And Bill's reaction after it's all hit home, she wasn't angry enough for me, This guy's just like completely screwed with her, man, and she's just kind of like, oh, you're back, good. Also want to talk about the fake regeneration the Doctor does in this episode. He's used regeneration energy before in one of the opening episodes of season 9 to help Davros see a sunset. But it's just like at this point he can just do the regeneration thing just at will. Like, you could just regenerate almost just at will. Now, a lot of people were pissed off that they used this regeneration footage in the trailers and stuff to trick people. I mean, I knew that Capaldi's final episode was going to be the Christmas special of this year, that it wasn't going to be episode 8. So I knew it was a trick, and I wasn't really angry about it.
I have joined the monks.
Now, Michelle Gomez is in this episode, and talking about her for the first time in this show, I just want to say the way that she phrases words and her vernacular and her pronunciation is really great and captivating, and I love it. It's just quirkiness done well, With Matt Smith, the quirkiness was just kind of like, I'm fucking stupid, But I think her And Patrick Troughton really do quirkiness well. This is how quirkiness should be. There's a few scenes where they use a voiceover of Bill explaining what's happening in the episode, and some voiceovers are used to great effect in shows and movies, and I really like them, but this kind of felt like a lazy ploy by the writer, you know? Show me, don't tell me is normally the rule. Like the prequel trilogy of Star Wars suffered a lot from the characters telling you what's happening rather than the events showing you what's happening. And it was just a few moments where it's like, why don't you just show that rather than just tell the audience? Hey audience, the doctor's feeling scared about going into the vault, and also I have animosity towards the situation. Show the actors acting. So there's this whole subplot throughout season 10 that the Doctor has had Missy trapped in this vault, and now that she's finally revealed, it appears as though she wants to turn good, and the Doctor is doing some type of a rehabilitation thing, and just, it seems really odd to me. I mean, what? It just seems out of character for the Doctor and for Missy. I mean, I think Missy's tricking him, and that's going to be a fun plot point. She even talks about being in there for 6 weeks without seeing anybody. 1, I don't see a bathroom in that cell. And 2, that's not going to rehabilitate her and make her good man. That's going to give her psychosis. Good job, Doc. You've made the Master more evil. So the way the monks control all of humanity in this Orwellian dystopia is through a psychic link. So Bill agreed to help them, and they attached a psychic link to her, and then with these statues transmitted the psychic link throughout humanity, and I guess overlaid a different reality with the monks are in control and they've always been there.
I am confused.
That concept's alright, but in the episode, it just really gets brushed over. It's like 2 lines, and it kind of leaves the audience, well, leaves me like, oh, okay. I feel like they didn't put enough effort into trying to explain how this was happening. Explain it, like Star Trek does. So in the last episode, I said I was hesitant to go into how confusing the monks are and their motivations and who they are and why they're doing what they're doing. And it's the final episode of this trilogy, and they just don't explain anything. I don't know who the monks are, where they come from, their history. They're really generic, there's no face to them, they're just like people in latex masks. I don't know why they choose a pyramid as like their main base of operations. I don't know why they want to take over humanity and control us in a Orwellian dystopia. Doesn't seem to be any benefit for them, or they don't tell us what benefit they have. It's just like they want to control us, and they're controlling us, and it's just like, what are they stealing like minerals from the earth, or they're getting power from this? None of that's explained. It's just like they're controlling our society for a reason.
I am confused.
So the story culminates in the Doc and Bill and these troops breaking into the main pyramid of operation and getting to the main transmission room, which transmits the psychic link. And the actual scene of them breaking in is really cool, because the psychic link becomes stronger when you get to the heart of the pyramid. So all these guys are listening to Bill tell them that this reality isn't real, and they're slowly starting to crack and believe that the generic monk Orwellian dystopia is the actual reality, and also the monks are attacking them. But the action isn't played out really well, it's just kind of like random shots of shit. So they go into this transmission room, and the main generic monk who is transmitting this signal is wearing Rivendell elf armor from the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Straight off, it just struck me. It's like, it's not similar, it's like straight up elf armor. I don't know how or why the BBC would have had this prop laying over. Doesn't look like they've recreated it. It actually looks like a set of Rivendell elf armor from the Lord of the Rings trilogy. So the Doctor tries to break this psychic link and he fails. And then Bill's like, I'll sacrifice myself and save the world. And this is the climax of the show. Everything's been building to it. And Bill grabs the generic Rivendell monk's head, and the thought of her mum starts being transmitted to the rest of humanity, and her love and pureness for her mum breaks everyone out of the Orwellian dystopia and into reality. Because love will prevail? That's fucking stupid. It's a really stupid ending. Just like the writer was like, alright, I'm gonna rip off 1984. Oh, I better not do that. Go off on this tangent, just like wrote himself into a corner. Had like a month left to finish the script. And he's like, oh shit. Oh, Bill loves her mum. Love will prevail, love will prevail, love will prevail.
I want to speak to her.
All you have to do is find whoever opened the door to the monks and just kill them.
So love prevails, and Bill's love for her mum snaps all of humanity out of this. Anyway, nobody remembers any of this happening. Bill's like, hey, at least society will be better from it, you know? We would have learned that not to trust generic totalitarian Rivendell monks. But the Doc's like, nah, everyone's forgotten everything. And this has happened way too many times, man. Like the Daleks invaded Earth, there was a spaceship which crashed into Big Ben, and all this shit has happened, and just humanity never remembers. It's like it has to revert back to how society is. I would really like Doctor Who to be set in like an alternative universe where our society is aware of aliens and has interacted with it and been influenced with it. Kind of like how season 3 of Rick and Morty is, when everything changed and it becomes all alien. But then they just retcon that anyway, just like, why can't we display an alternative version of humanity? This is a sci-fi, isn't it?
I'm sorry your +1 doesn't get a happy ending.
Alright, in conclusion, I mean, nah, fuck this episode. It feels rushed. I know this guy who wrote it is a good writer. He wrote Under the Lake in season 9 and the follow-up to that episode. But I don't know, maybe he was going through a divorce or he just left it to the last moment, Hunter S. Thompson style, and had to rush through it. But there's too many things that pissed me off. Too many things. I mean, Pearl Mackey's performance is great. Capaldi, as always, is great. Premise is kind of cool, but not fleshed out. The enemy is completely void of anything and just completely stupid. And yeah, the plot all ends in some crap. Anyway, thank you for watching. It really helped me out if you like, subscribe, and write something in the comments. On next episode, I'll be discussing The Edge of Destruction, the 3rd ever Doctor Who serial. Thank you, and good night.
All anyone's seen of the Doctor in the last 6 months are those broadcasts he does.